Whether you're playing a preseason game, whether you're playing in the Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, if you treat it the same, it's just ball, man. It's 60 minutes, potentially plus, of flying around with your brothers and having a great time and playing the greatest game in the world. The standard is always the standard. The media doesn't determine the standards. The opponents don't determine our standard. The standard is the standard, and we compete every day.
It's week number 1 of this National Football League season, and welcome to Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer. Bill Jones with the Cowboys head coach on the heels of the season opening game in Philadelphia, a 24-20 verdict, coach, that the final result is not what you wanted, but I think there were a lot of positives that came out of the game on Thursday.
Yeah, Bill, we just got done watching it. There was. Certainly the main objective is to win. We didn't do that, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention how physical our guys played, the way they competed, and we're building something pretty special here with the connection of our group, and just to hear the guys in the locker room after the game with the accountability and things like that, that paints a very exciting picture for the coach here.
All right, I want to start with your quarterback, and Dak Prescott played a terrific game, and not surprisingly, but the shape that he's in, the leadership that he's had now going into his 10th year in the league is obvious, but I think it was a testament to the work that he's put in ever since his injury last year and what he did manifested on Thursday night, I think.
Yeah, you know, Dak is just the most incredible worker, man. He just, you know, pre-practice, post-practice, getting the throws and things that he needs in. There's no mistaking why he's such a great player and why he's so well respected by our teammates and the coaches in general, really. You know, the opponents as well. But he played well last night. He really did. I thought his accuracy grade was really, really high. What was cool for me, though, was to see the excitement that he had when we were running the football well, right? Just the passion he plays the game with. It's hard not to cheer for that guy.
I want to go now from one captain to another captain. And behind the scenes here at the Star in Frisco, something you weren't aware of until we just told you about it. Right. But 1:30 on Friday afternoon after the game, there's one guy on this practice field, and it was C.D. Lamb on the jugs machine. I love C.D. I would tell you a little bit about myself. I went to Oklahoma to school. I've loved C.D. ever since he stepped on campus in Norman, Oklahoma. But that says all you need to know about C.D. Lamb, I think, when he's out on the jugs machine the day after the game.
When your best players approach the game that way, with the passion, the accountability, and that work ethic, you know you're going to be successful. So not surprising at all. Again, I love the accountability they took after the game. Look, we didn't lose that game because of just something CD did or just something anybody else did. We lost it as a football team. That's part of the deal. But I'm not surprised, but I will say I'm very proud.
All right, sticking on offense, you talked about physicality. How about the offensive line? Tyler Guyton, who's been out the last month, plays every snap in the game. You got the rookie Tyler Booker at right guard as well. How about that offensive line?
Yeah, I thought really for the most part they played really, really well. You know, gave up no sacks, and that's great. I thought we were very physical in the running game from the beginning, the first play of the game. A little 7-yard outside zone play to the left, some great double teams. I thought, again, the technique stuff early in the season can be cleaned up, but there were just a couple really good examples of us really being physical and truly attacking the defensive front of the Eagles. Again, things that we're pleased with.
You know, and it seemed like things were obviously clicking on offense, but even from a mechanics standpoint, things were clean, especially for a season opener. One sequence in particular, into the first half, you get the ball back with 51 seconds left at your own 12-yard line, 53 yards in 6 plays. The one play in particular, though, that I went, wow, snap the ball with 15 seconds left with no timeouts, pass to CD for 10 yards. He runs the ball to Cooper Beebe, puts the ball down, touches it, and you're able to clock it and kick a 53-yard field goal to end the half.
Well, Bill, I think that speaks to how much we practice those things. Practicing them is one thing. I think if you look at that play, the poise of not just Dak and CD, the poise of the entire operation, when you look at the clip, Jake Ferguson got stuck where he was the only receiver out to the right, and he had the wherewithal to get on the line of scrimmage, so we have a legal formation. But when you see your players go and they take those things that you work so hard on, but they do it in a real game with the pressure of the clock and all of that stuff and a primetime national TV audience, that's when you know that they're listening, they're applying the things you're doing, and with this group, everything we've emphasized, Bill, they've always done.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer. When we come back, let's take a trip to the Cowboys locker room.
Don't take instead. We get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. Come right back.
Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Huddle here inside the Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco after the Cowboys' 24-20 loss to Philadelphia on Thursday night. Let's head to the locker room and hear what the players are saying. Let's start with the quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him after the series, after one of them or so. Obviously, right there at the end of the game, and yeah, in the locker room. I mean, there wasn't a big long talk need to have as he took ownership and accountability, right? To you guys, I'm sure he shut me up in the same sense of taking accountability. And after the game, going over to him, and he's just doing this, and it's just more of like those wasn't just those plays. There's throws out there that I want back, but it's game one, and he's a guy that makes those plays. He's going to make those plays. We're not going to get down on him. We're not going to lose confidence by any means. And he will make those plays. So, yep.
No more pictures, but you take any solace in how you guys came out and played and performed the game?
Yeah, for sure. With all the change, new head coach, group went out there, physical as hell, together. It was fun every way through. Obviously, we thought we had a chance. We had opportunities. Defense is trying to blame themselves in the first half, and offense is going to blame themselves in the second half. So a lot of accountability was taken in the locker room, but we're definitely process-oriented. And as Shotty said, if we continue to compete and play physical like that, we're going to be proud of the team that we can put together each and every week. So it's 1 of 17, and right, I didn't think we were going to go undefeated. So sucks. Wanted to get the first one, obviously, especially against a good team, a rival. Division, but we got to move on, and we got another division game next week. So,
man, that's terrible. Honestly, I feel like I can't point no fingers at nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And I take full accountability and everything else that come with it because as for me as a player, I prayed for moments like that. You know what I'm saying? And the ball to come my way, and obviously for me to not come up with it, it stings a little bit. But I will tell you, if you think I'm not coming back any times harder than this, you got another thing coming.
How surprised were you just because you talked in training camp about how the key thing was not to drop the ball, and I don't know if you had 2 drops off.
Yeah, I didn't, but hey, God has a mysterious way of humbling folks, and I did come in with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, but again, this is a lesson well learned, and again, I deserve everything that come with it.
It's promising for us. We know obviously. As well as we feel like, we didn't play our best. There's a lot of good film on there, too. So, we just got to go back, get back in the lab, rewatch the game, finish doing the corrections that we need to, and, pretty much just get ready to saddle up back and get back at it next week. For the most part, I feel like, top to bottom, we played pretty solid. We played against a good football team, and we showed that we're a damn good football team, too. So, like I said, we just got to get back in the lab, make our corrections, and then maneuver from there.
Just better rush lane integrity, That's one of the main things. I feel like we did a good job of tackling and stuff like that, but start to figure out our wrestling integrity in the second half.
I know you're not happy about the loss, but did you see things you could build on?
For sure. I feel like the team played with high energy the whole game. The effort was there, compete our ass off, so that's all things that we could build off of.
Cowboys Huddle continues in a moment. We introduce you to one of the new members of the Cowboys coaching staff.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer continues here inside the Globe Live studios at the Star in Frisco. Time now to go behind the Star and introduce you to one of the new members of the Cowboys coaching staff.
Tanzel Smart, defensive quality control, defensive line, 1 year coach. You know, I played in the NFL 8 years, and you know, I've been playing football all my life, and just helping guys, man, helping my teammates, being around football, like just being knowledgeable of the game, and I love it, man. I just couldn't get away from it. Growing up, I always wanted to play football in the NFL, and as I got along in high school and college, that's when I just feel like, you know, God was pushing me to coach. My specific goal is to be a head coach one day, you know, one step at a time, defensive coordinator, defensive line coach, head coach. You know, why not aim for the top? It's a blessing to be under a coach like Shotty and under a coach like Flus, White Cotton, man. So it's like, it's so much to learn. I thought I knew a lot, but, you know, I still have a lot to learn, and, you know, why not learn from those guys? It's a blessing. You know, me being so closely removed from the game just last year, you know, it's just like I'm still in the locker room with the guys. You know, talking to the guys, like knowing what they're going through every time of the season, during cuts, now at the beginning of the season, whatever, like the playoffs, Super Bowl, whatever. You know, I've been through every different experience, so I feel like, you know, the connection with the guys has been real great. You got to build a connection with a guy first to let them know that you care, and then you coach them up, you know, because a lot of these guys are pushed away from you if they feel like you don't care. Of course, both of us here to do our job and be great at our job, but I got to connect with him in a personal level first before I could just, you know, rip him a new one. You know, just like I said, I want to build a bond with you, but also I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, when the getting get tough, I tell you, you gotta grow one, man. You gotta get it. You know, all these guys, I'm gonna give them 100%. Whatever I gotta do, like I always tell them, I'm one call away. 4 o'clock in the morning, you need something, coach, I'm thinking about this, let's get it. You know, you need some film, whatever. I'm gonna give these guys 110% so we can go out there and do our thing.
Tanzel Smart, one of the members of the Cowboys defensive coaching staff, and we turn our attention to the defense with the head coach when Cowboys Huddle continues in a moment.
This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com.
But guys, all I'm saying is do not lose heart. I don't see people flying up the field and not do anything. Just stay on your grind, stay on your escape, stay on your extension, stay on your counters. Make everything go. Make everything go. The other thing, on second and longers, I might call some pick games, all right, so that we can knock those guys off and get some movement. He doesn't have anywhere to throw the ball, and he's making us wrong, and we got to adjust, right?
Cowboys assistant coach Aaron White-Cotton coaching up that defensive line as we welcome you back here to Cowboys Huddle. Bill Jones with Brian Schottenheimer. Let's talk about the defense a little bit and the particular challenge, Coach, facing Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense. It's kind of a tale of two halves on Thursday night, where Jalen was able to get out and, you talk about rush lane discipline after the game, something that White-Cotton, I know, is coaching up his guys on. How much of a challenge is it facing a quarterback like that? Because you can do everything right on defense, and then all of a sudden he gets out for 10 yards.
Well, yeah, Bill, just literally watching the film with the defensive staff, and even last night, there were some great things from a coverage standpoint where there was nowhere to throw the ball. I mean, I think we held Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown to, I think, 3 or 4 catches for not a lot of yards, and that's a testament to the coverage aspect, but also the pass rush. But there were definitely a few times where we let him get out. It was a little bit of rush lane discipline. And then, again, he puts you in that predicament where you don't know whether to take him, stay back for the pass. And it just shows you the dangerous element of a quarterback that can move. But I loved how we settled in, some great adjustments at halftime by Flus and the staff, and brought some more pressure. But really, it was more of the discipline piece that was way better in the second half, which is why we jumped ahead of them on the sticks. In the first half, I think You know, I think it's about 70% of the time they were in second and manageable because they were having great success on first down, and we flipped that in the second half. And that's how you win games and you set up third down and long, is by winning first down.
And you talk about settling in, and this is a team, the Eagles, they control the football, they control the clock so much. You only have 4 possessions on offense in both the first half and the second half. But the way your defensive line played, especially after the weather delay, Saquon Barkley had -1 yard on 7 carries the last 19 minutes and 44 seconds of the game. Who are the guys up front on defense that were coming through for you?
Well, Kenny Clark showed up in a big way, Osa, but again, I really do think, Bill, it was a coordinated effect of not just the defensive line, but the linebackers. I mean, Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, the safeties, Malik Hooker was all over the field. It was great watching that thing, and you know, we talk all the time, no house guests. So you see our corners come in there setting the edge as well, but when you can do that to a great runner like Saquon Barkley, it shows you what we're capable of.
All right, how about in the secondary? Trayvon Diggs, I think, played 27 snaps in the game coming back from his injury. You already mentioned how the wideouts were under control during that game. How about your secondary?
Yeah, again, I thought for the most part, you know, just so proud of Trayvon, what he was able to do. You know, he's worked so hard to get back, and, you know, just to be out there and to do some of the things that he did. He didn't look rusty at all. There was one clip we were just watching where he was trying to bait the quarterback to throw a little 7 cut back on a little smash combination, and just really, really proud of him. But all in all, I thought, you know, again, for the most part, when you can control that team and limit those big-time receivers to the numbers that they had, again, it shows you what we're capable of. But it's a team deal, and I thought really the second half was awesome to see us make those adjustments.
You mentioned no house guests, meaning defensive backfield guys, they have to tackle.
That's right.
Apparently no house guest in your offensive backfield too, because your quarterback made one of the biggest tackles of the game on the fumble return.
Yeah, you know, I didn't really see it. I heard about it. Somebody was talking about it on the sidelines. But then when I saw it, when I put the film on the plane last night, it was incredible, because I really do think Mitchell's about to get out and get free. And I asked him about it after the game. He's like, yeah, you know, Dak, he played it off like, yeah, no problem. But it was a hell of a play.
All right, we wrap up Cowboys Huddle in just a moment with a new weekly feature. It's Shotty Shot when we come back.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
Final couple of minutes here of Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer. We got the video board out for you, Coach. It's time for Shotty Shot for this week. And I'm understanding it's Javonte Williams, a new Cowboys lead running back in Thursday night's game.
Yeah, it is. Some cool clips here. This is early in the game. I think it's second play of the game. You watch Javonte come out here, take a great shot, playing physical, blocking Cooper DeJean. He played physical all night, really set the tone. Down in the goal line, anytime you get a chance down in the goal line, they were playing us what we call 6-1, where they're trying to, you know, load up all your gaps. But you just watch this thing from a couple other views that we've got here, and the ability to finish the double team. I thought Tyler Guyton and Brevin, you look what Brevin Spawn Ford did right there, is amazing. But again, there's always going to be free color down here. You watch Javonte, again, low pads, running through contact. That's outstanding. One of my favorite runs of the day right here. Just a duo scheme. But look at the push. Look at the push. Look at the leg drive by Javonte. I love CD, the excitement, Cooper Beebe, big time run right there. It's just the way Javonte plays the game. This is the second touchdown of the game. We knew there was going to be a free color. We actually weren't blocking the 2 outside pieces right there. But again, a veteran running back, Bill, that's got experience and knows what low red zone running's like is a huge, huge, huge thing for us. So again, great movement, free color. But look, he's not going to be denied. And then go ahead.
And that sets the tone for the whole team when you've got a power running game like that, right?
It does. And then you look at the guy, he does that, but also watch him right here. Watch him chip the 3 technique right there. Like, that's playing physical with and without the ball. That's what Dallas Cowboys football should look like. And Javonte Williams did that all night for us last night in Philadelphia.
All right. I love it. I love it. The first Shotty Shot of the new season goes to Javonte Williams. Coach, I look forward to doing this throughout the season. And next week, the New York Football Giants come to town for the home opener. We will see you then on the next edition of Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer.
Right to left, handoff, Javonte Williams, bang at left guard, and the Cowboys score the first touchdown of the season.
Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer, powered by Reliant. was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.